Hey, you there?
Hello?
Hey, man. Guys, check my audio for me. Live, on time, on point. Coming free charge. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 202nd live edition of the long time coming, highly anticipated, never duplicated, supplicated, and appreciated about program. The program featuring extended pin compensated talents William Bishop, Blake Evers, Staple, media moderators, third round direct pick name leader, three people, two dinners, one dream, broadcasting's finest train wreck. That is Mojo's icon. How about that?
Bizarrely, it doesn't have Mojo's name below it.
I know. Well, there you go. It's professional. I can do that in Photoshop on the fly. Maybe I shall. Enough about you. Is Core 9 Media Presentation, YouTube, iTunes, all the other tunes available from every coast to every coast. And now here he is. He is not Badger. He is on the other side of the world. He's a streamer himself. He's been a partner a lot longer than I have, I think, Mr. Mojo. How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good.
Hey, man.
Pretty sleepy.
Pretty sleepy? Yeah, you just got up, yeah? Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, I found it. I found the PSD, so let me throw that in there. So, yeah. Uh-oh. How's his audio compared to mine? It's always a little dicey when we get in here. I'm probably overbearing. When did you get partnered?
When did I get partnered? It would have been around February 2018.
2018. Mine was... Yeah. Okay, so mine was November of 20...
Yeah, it's not November.
Yeah, November. So there we go. All right. Okay, your logo we're going to put over here. All right, good. This is some professional Photoshop I'm doing here. Let's just do it in the background. So what's new? What's new with you, man? While I'm doing this, I've got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about, but I can't do it at the same time while I'm doing Photoshop. So talk about something.
Oh yeah, I bet you'll be very interested in the things I've been up to lately.
Tell me. Yeah, you've had a couple of really good dinners and gatherings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start talking, man.
Yeah. So what was it? It was last Sunday. I had a last-minute invite for a dinner out with the partner manager and his boss, who was the old partner manager.
For Asia Pacific or for Australia or what region do they cover? Because they do divvy it up by region, right?
Yeah. So this is for the what they call ANZ, which is Australia and New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so these two guys basically cover. Well, yeah, Australia and New Zealand, and as far as am aware, they're basically the entirety of Twitch for this entire.
The entire region, yeah.
Yeah, so all of Australia and New Zealand. So these two guys basically just run it, and as far as I'm aware, and there isn't really anyone.
Wow. Okay, see if this works.
Dun, dun, dun.
There it is. Yay.
Hey.
All right. That worked. I just exported over the old file, and there you go. You now have your logo and your address in there. Okay, cool. All right, how about that, man? That's some good photoshopping on the fly. There you
go. Very nice.
Clowntown changed from partner to non-partner. What do you mean? Are those,
that makes sense. It's the phrasing is a bit strange, but it makes sense.
Oh,
you went to partner from non-partner.
It's backwards. Okay, I said it backwards. 219 and 11. See, mine was I got the email on November 1st. So that date, the 21st, is not correct. So whatever that is, it might be from Sully Gnome or whoever updates those once a month or something like that. But because I remember I was on this show on Thursday, November 1st, and I got the email. It was great.
So got a clip of that.
Yeah, it was good. So what did you talk about at this dinner?
Talking about mostly just socializing, streaming stuff. Talking about what some of the people are doing. Actually, what we're talking about this was the first one. This was the dinner. I'm trying to think of everyone who was there now. So much has gone on since. Yeah, that was the one I was talking with the other guy. So not the current partner manager. That's the current partner manager. Just to get some names to identify him. One, he's Allison. And then his boss, the old party manager, is Lewis. And I was mostly talking with Lewis on that dinner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
so
talking about
what was their aim in having the dinner? Were they looking for people for some opportunities? Were they looking to get to know some of them or bring them in and getting them involved, like front page opportunities, something like that?
So they had another guy down who runs the company. I'm trying to think, it was Gun Run or Gun, who do streaming backpacks.
Aha, yes, gun runners, right? It's or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they were trying out the backpacks at the Australian Open, which was going on. I think it was just wrapping up that week. And so they had some backpacks. I can't remember who they had wandering around with one, and they were doing some IRL streaming.
Right. In the chat, I will put that now. I put that here in the chat. It is called gunrun.tv/backpack. And actually, you will see, we will get to experience one of these live because Badger has rented one. And he will have it for the entirety of PAX East.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So if those that's coincidence. Those streamer partners were talking about exactly this thing, but it's essentially a backpack that you can wear, and the connection is your phone, whatever data that you can get through your phone. But it's got a laptop built into the back and a camera harness that comes over your shoulder. I think it looks not only forward but also it's you. Right, so it's this little shoulder mount thing, and you can flip it back and forth.
Yeah, I believe you can extend it forward on a stick as well, on a little handle. Very sophisticated.
Yeah. They're also not cheap either. They
oh no.
They are fairly. They tell you how to build one, but you certainly can order one. I want to say the last time I looked at it, they were like $2,000.
I know they have. I know one of the sticking points with them here was the battery, because it runs into carry-on restrictions on planes.
Yes. So on planes, right? So you cannot pack a battery that is over a certain size in your luggage. So it has to go with you. So your laptop, like you can't just throw a laptop into your suitcase anymore because that battery melts down in the hull of the plane, and there's a fire in the hull that you can't get at it. If you have a fire on the plane, they want it to be in your lap so they can deal with it, right?
Yeah, that's why you can't get laptops with there's this wall of bigger batteries where they just won't get any big, and that's that aviation limit.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so everybody saw the videos a couple years back of batteries from, I want to say they were either, what company was it? It was like, was it Sony? Was that
the Samsung?
Samsung, that's right. I was thinking S. Yeah, it was Samsung batteries.
The Note.
It was a battery sitting straight on a table, and nobody around, and the battery just engulfed in flames and burned through the table. It was crazy. So, so that everybody saw that, and of course the FAA sees that, and they went, "Wait a second, that battery was doing nothing," and it caught on fire and burned a table down. Well, think about that happening spontaneously in the belly of a plane, right? Like you're screwed, especially in Asia Pacific where there is water. There's like no emergency landing for a long time between countries, right? Australia has 2 cities. They have cities on the edges, but nothing over the middle.
There's nothing there.
And they got water all around
nothing
us.
in the middle.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing in the middle. So then any other country you got to go to, there's water. So like you got a fire in the hull. You got to put that thing down. By the way, you're smoking everybody out and all that. It sucks. So they're going no. So they say a battery of a certain size has to come up and basically sit in your lap or in the cabin with you, so that you can address it if there's a fire, or it just can't be on the plane. Yeah. So what were they doing? Were they trying to pimp these gun run things, or were they trying to get you see if you were interested in using one?
So they actually had a pretty grand plan. So this is Ellison and Lewis. They had this plan of having them available for partners to borrow on request. They want to get
Yes.
a bunch of backpacks available, and then you know if you want to do an event, say PAX or whatever, they'll then provide them to you, um, providing it's available and all that.
Yep, I got one of those I got an invite for one of those for TwitchCon. And they sent me an email and said, "Hey, yeah, since you're," they probably sent it to every partner. They said, "Hey, you're going to TwitchCon. Would you like to do one of these? We're going to have these to give out." And they had 2-hour increments you could sign up for. They said it comes first come, first serve. So I got the email and I filled it out right then. And I clicked every box and I said, yes, 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 yes. And I said, yes, I would like to try one of these for free. And I sent it back in. I never got one, but they were doing that as early as Twitch, at least for Twitch, for the partners that attended TwitchCon. They were trying to pimp those out. I do recall that. Yeah. So this was specifically for an ANZ event?
Yes, this is specifically for ANZ. So well, I say for this coming year, but so for 2020 onwards, they want to make these available for partners to take out to events.
Cool. That's good. Yeah, so I know they have PAX AUS would probably be one of them. That's a pretty well-attended one. There's is there a TwitchCon Australia?
There has been at least one in recent memory, but it's not a consistent thing. I think the last one was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few other events. I'm trying to think of them. There's a few esports events. I want to say IEM,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't recall it exactly. Then there's another one that I think just gone, which was not D&D, but the other one. I
Right.
can't remember the game. Yeah, a few smaller events. Like mostly tabletop and RPG. Sort of deal.
So are you compelled to now start going to these events or going to more of them? Because I think you've been to one of them, right?
Yeah. So the first time I'd ever gone to an event was last year's PAX, and that was more enjoyable going to the get together on the Thursday before than the actual event.
Yes. Yeah, oftentimes the gatherings the gatherings are way more fun than the event itself. Yeah, and that was our experience. That was our experience as well. The gaming floor and all of that is good. The parties and the gatherings afterward go from good to great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all that networking, isn't it? It's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's like for the PAX over where you are, but at least for here, it was very much dominated by the bigger labels. So there was huge space allocated for Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, Intel was there. There was a few shops as well.
Uh-huh.
I think it was EB Games was there or one of those. I don't remember who. And then there was like this small little cramped corner where some of the more indie stuff was, and then there was like the other half of, and that's only the first half. And then the second half of it was all miniatures, tabletops, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So PAX East. Okay, they have a map updated, and Nintendo for PAX East this year is going to. Ooh, no, this is a 2018. Oh, okay. Well, let me go find it's 11 days away. I'm looking at PAX East here. Let me look at the map. They always publish a map, and you can see the booths that they have. So give me just a second here. Exhibitor list is live. Oh, that'll be a good one. There you go. So, that's just a list. Usually they do a map. Oh. Yes. Okay. There is a map. There is a map link in there as well. So So in the chat there is a map, and a link to the thing. Yeah. So last year, as I recall, Mixer had a gigantic presence at East, and East East and West are probably the biggest ones. I can't comment on West because I haven't been to one of those yet. South is a smaller one, and it's probably the anomaly. But what I'm doing is I'm zooming in on that the rightmost map one, and you can see that you can see the big boxes are Discord, Nintendo, PlayStation, Square Enix, and Corsair.
A lot of these were not at PAX Oz.
Yeah, we didn't have Mixer was medium size. It wasn't was probably about as big of a booth as they have here. I think there was PlayStation was there, but it wasn't like this. They didn't have three spots. Discord was there. They had also rented a room upstairs. We had to go up there and do a bunch of Discord stuff. Discord partners. I got to pay the money and boost the server. That's what I got to do. Get Discord partnership. They don't need any partners.
They don't need partners anymore.
They don't need partners anymore. They're fine. They put the kibosh on that.
It's actually interesting. I see Corsairs there, and they weren't down here either.
Yeah. So I would say it's very rare to have such a giant presence for some of the bigger from the bigger ones, because even at East, which is a big one, no Intel, there's some, none of the other ones, none of those super bigger names. I mean, Mixer has a medium sized one. PlayStation has 2 booths, probably the biggest one. See anything that's missing from there? Any of the names jump out that are not there?
I was surprised to see Seagate.
What about the platform we're on right now? Anybody see a Twitch booth?
No, I can't find. I've been searching, but I can't see one.
You can't see? Yep. Nope. No Twitch booth. Oh.
That's interesting, because Twitch did have a little booth, which was a partner lounge, sort of pushed off to one side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is true. They didn't have one for East either. I don't know.
There's the Mixer booth now.
Yep, it's Mixer pimps their stuff. So
I'm not 100% sure on the scale of this too, but I want to say that the Square Enix one was about the size of the Intel one at PAX Oz, but it might be a little bit like the Square Enix one might be bigger on this because it's bigger.
Right.
But the Intel presence was huge.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if I saw Intel at last year's. I have to look at it, but I don't remember. Badger might remember what all we saw, but I do remember Mixer, and I remember I want to say who's the Dead by Daylight guys. Who builds those? I remember Dead by Daylight had a gigantic booth. Somebody look that up for me.
There's actually another thing I'm not seeing. Was there a lot of streamer booths?
Not many. Behavior Interactive.
Quite a lot of.
Behavior Interactive.
Behavior Interactive.
Yeah. I remember my buddy, This Nancy. Do you know her? His partner, Australian partner. I think Badger referred me to her one day on a raid, and I remember she goes to PAX Australia every time, and she gets to stream every time. Of course, she's been a partner for forever.
She's the one that's overwhelmingly purple.
Yes, overwhelmingly purple. yeah, she's awesome. And I think she hasn't streamed in quite a while, but yeah, she's overwhelmingly purple. Changes her hair like weekly, and all that stuff.
I've seen a picture of her setup, and it's white, and then purple.
Yeah, this Nancy, there he goes. Let's see when the last time she streamed. Yeah, she's in black and white on her Twitter profile, but yeah, it's been she's been tweeting, but I haven't seen her stream for a while. I don't think. I have to look up a Solino. Anyway, I remember the first time I saw PAX South was through her streaming booth. Is when I bring it up. She did. She was streaming there, and I remember she was saying that what you said they were correct. Is there's a bunch of booths there where streamers can show up and stream there, or you can sign up for a booth. And it said that they were there was a lot of them. There's a lot of opportunity to do it. Man, that is not the case at PAX South and PAX East. There's two booths that you and usually it's not even Twitch or anybody running. At PAX South, it was Stride PR running them. I signed up for them. I got a spot, and who was it? Elgato did the other one did the PAX East one last year. Of course, I did not get that one either.
I don't remember who was running the ones here. There was a few different ones. There was ones that were out on the floor, which were fully enclosed, clear plastic sort of chain. And then there was a bunch of others which were like more sort of esports type galleries. Where there are multiple layers.
Mm-hmm.
Like tiered that sort of tiered stadium seating type thing. And they're all lined up, looking back down onto the show.
Yeah. I remember seeing behind them was the showroom floor. I always wanted to do that. One of the things I kind of wanted to do at one of those shows when I first went at PAX is, I guess, when I saw Nancy's. I really didn't necessarily want to play a game there. What I kind of wanted to do was hang out crack-wise for a little bit, and then kind of grab a couple of folks walking by and just talk to them for 5 minutes, and then move them along and say, hey, you want to be on air, and we'll do that. I thought that would be way more interesting for a live stream, or see
doesn't make no sense to play a game.
Cosplay come by or something. I think they wanted me. I think the last time they wanted us to play games or something at PAX South, so I did play Factorial for a little bit, start a speed run, I guess. But otherwise,
oh yeah, I think there was a Factorio speed run here at the PAX.
Yeah, who was doing it?
I don't recall now. I just remember seeing it on the list, but it was after it.
Yeah, there's so many speedrunners now, which I don't take responsibility for world records. I take responsibility for getting other people to get motivated to speedrun. That's my claim to fame. I'm not very good. I'm not very good at doing the thing. I'm good at getting others to do the thing. So
reminding people that they can do as good or better.
You can absolutely do as good or better than my 9th place showing, for sure. Get the 8-hour achievement. Good job. Wazations was doing one. There you go. Sartan, yeah. Good. Happy Dude took the world record back today. Wow. Look at there. Good job. 30 seconds, 32 seconds. Beating Ephraim's again. Happy Dude with the Canadians. Well done. Brought it back home. I was going to say,
what was the percentage on Steam achievements for people doing it in 8 hours?
1.5% last time I saw.
There you go. You're better than 1.5% of the people who have it on Steam. If you can do it in under 8 hours.
Yeah, changed my mind. Yeah, 1.5%. You can do it. Let me log in. I'll show you that page. I have it as a command in my bot. My bot's not up right now. Factorio. Yep. Let me log in. I'll put that link in chat for you. Steam achievements. There we go. What? I don't even know how to get that.
And on top of that, it's 2 million copies sold.
Yes.
So you're in the 1%ers. You're in the top 20,000 of all players.
That's right. The old 17s runs were rolled into the 018 categories. I know Rain does not care anything about that, but I do. I thought they should have. I voted against that. I voted for a reset, even though the gameplay didn't change. It's because we had precedent. But it's not.
I would have thought they would split it just because previous precedent says.
Yep, me too. Me too. Oh, well, my vote counts for one. That's about it. Let's see. Single player Steam achievements. Rain, can you find that? Can you link the Steam achievements page? Yeah, there was a Steam page. I have it. Let me open up my damn bot. I'll get it for you. have to go look at my bot command because I'm not finding it through. I'm not able to link it through Steam. But yeah, it's there. It is 1.5%. There you go. Copy URL right there. That's probably it. Yeah, this Nancy streamed. Last time she streamed was October, which is a bummer. She was good. There it is. Okay, I can't show this on stream because I'd have to Photoshop it all again. But There Is No Spoon is finished the game within 8 hours, 1.5% of Steam. And yeah, you're in the top 1%. Get that 8-hour achievement. But I mean, this also accounts. That data also accounts for those people who bought it or were gifted it and then fired it up and played it for 2 hours and then never played it again.
Never touched it.
Or never touched it. That counts in that 1%. Or I'm looking at some of the games I got since January that I have not installed. And I'm just not going to get to them. I got one in, Resix. I have 0 hours in Stardew Valley that Resix got me because he's trying to make me destroy my life. I got Mindustry, which I have not installed. Doom in November, uninstalled. Grip, Dirt Rally, Trailmakers, Middle Earth, Whispers of a Machine, Mages of Australia, Frostpunk, Shenzhen, IO, Dead Cells, and Fantasy Blacksmith, all games that I got either through Keymailer or the Humble Bundle Pack, right?
I was going to say, at least I got 100 minutes in Stardew Valley.
Oh, yeah? Stardew, man. That's addiction. Isn't that where you, your goal is basically to make a big farm and then have sex with everybody in the town? Isn't that your...
It can be one goal.
It's a goal. It's not the goal. It's pretty good. There's worse goals. No, I never...
it's a game. It's whatever goal you set yourself.
Whatever goal you
maybe.
No, I don't think I have. I don't think I have Crusader Kings. Badger's got that one. Is that the one where you can kill your son because it's doesn't fit with your throne and expansion goals? Something like that. Yeah,
that's the one.
Something like that. Anyway, well, good. I'm glad you got to talk with those folks. That should be like your next push. I would think would be to hey, let's put together a schedule for the front page, right? And then drag Factorio to the front page or something, or drag something to the front page. Yeah.
Yeah. So about that. So the way the front page works, I don't know. I've never actually seen the US front page, so I don't know what it looks like. But here it's a carousel, so
yes.
It comes up with like a random one at the top, and then 8 at the 8 or so others behind it that you can scroll through.
Same as ours.
Okay, same.
Yeah. But ours has Eagles, cheeseburgers, and firearms and handguns all over it. But otherwise, it's exactly the same.
Yeah. Forgotten weapons and who does the Eagles? Who would be the equivalent of Eagle? I can't think.
Emus?
No, I was thinking for the US, it'd be Forgotten Weapons. That'd be your firearms.
Oh yeah, it used to be what the emus, meat pies, and I don't know.
Bogans.
Yeah, it's right.
Funny enough, yeah, some of them, in fact, most of them that are on there do cover that.
Right. So is there did you talk with those guys about an opportunity to grow the thing up, grow the?
Yeah. So I was actually on the Sunday. I was talking about what I do the sort of things I do in real life. So I do electronics, that sort of thing mostly, and because I have a advanced diploma in electronics engineering,
mm-hmm.
and I was talking about that, and then Lewis asked the question. So, have you heard of the game Factorio?
That's right. Heard of it. Have you met
sure.
me? Right.
You see what I do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and got to talking about doing soldering and sort of, Lewis Rosman, that sort of things, board repair and soldering demonstrations, and even just sort of general education on as a. And he was sort of leading into that as well. It's like, education's a really growing. So yeah.
Oh, so
there's some good opportunity there.
yeah, so like he wants you to do some stuff for front page, like and do soldering and that sort of how to do this sort of thing for front page, maybe.
It didn't sort of lead into anything specific.
Oh,
but
man.
it was very open to the idea.
Oh, good. Man, I would have been saying, all right, well, my job is to get an appointment like before we leave. What time can I be? What time and date can I be on that front page? And let's do the thing, man.
For me, it's actually quite a lot easier. There's I actually don't know if I can actually talk about how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's why I've been hesitant to say it. But
Okay.
yeah. All I need to do is just apply, and it's very likely I'll probably get it.
Yeah, probably so. Do it, man. I mean, what's stopping you? That'd be great. That'd be a great deal. Say, hey, or send an email to Lewis. Say, hey, remember Factorio? I can speed run Factorio for you. Yeah.
If I could get a launch date out of Woo, maybe I could actually schedule some front page time.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, think of how much viewership one could get if you put Kubernetes Cloud Agile Buzzwordathon training in your Twitch channel. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Education on Twitch, I'd love to do. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I could probably teach some stuff on Twitch.
From what I've seen more broadly, it seems to be the way things are going and moving away from, like, gaming is becoming less of a priority, and it's becoming something that adds value.
Adds value, right. And I agree. Just chatting is the biggest category, the biggest expanding category on Twitch. And it's the one that has grown the most. And
it's one of the few that is growing currently, I think, too. All the others are shrinking.
Right. Yeah, I would say, yeah. There would be there's they had the arts and craft. They had Bob Ross with the painting and all that business.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's still going.
And all that arts and crafts they want to promote. I get those emails all the time that says, "Hey, if you're an art craft maker, send us an email and apply here. We have some opportunities for you." And I don't know what I would get on there and teach. I mean, you could probably teach that electronics and that sort of stuff, and soldering and business. I would probably just say, hey, I'm a manager. I don't know. I'd teach about leadership and stuff. I don't know.
Teach you how to manage.
Teach you how to manage, and because we'll get into that on occasion about. I had some ethical things come up before, and so I walked the stream through that, where I was offered a pretty good trip by one of my suppliers, and I went and I had to bail out on that because I had to I had to say no because long term I need to be kind of independent of that. One of my guys is one of the greatest, hardest workers ever, but he's super smart and he's very sneaky. And so talk about having one of the greatest employees that's ever worked for me, but I got to watch him all the time because he'll spin out if I don't remind him that I'm on him. I still got to yell at him, but I need to yell at him enough to where he doesn't walk away. So,
the right kind of yelling.
I don't want him to walk away, man. So, yeah, and then there's the other one. I find people who try and teach coding on Twitch are you really bad at coding? Yep, there's coders on Twitch. I had some developers. There's some map makers that did pretty well. Like one of the Arc map developers was on for a while. I think it was called Evil Mr. Frank. I always thought those were interesting. He was making the Arc maps, so I would hang out with him. And he eventually left that crew because of issues, and now those issues got amplified in in later years. So
I was going to say either the issues left with him or things blew up even more.
oh, they blew up. They probably blew up even more. He was talking about the decision making and all that for the games, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't be a part of that anymore." So I'd heard from him a long time, but he would stream. He would essentially stream his map making. And I guess he was. I mean, I want to say he should have been. If he didn't, he should have been offered partnership back in the day. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Sartan says Twitch developer streaming also assumes they're awesome. They don't respond to feedback, makes them really arcane, stupid, clunky data structures. Never worry about efficiency, and something like unit testing is completely outside of their language. Yeah, I imagine.
It's a term I haven't heard in a while. Unit testing.
Unit testing. That's right. Yeah, you got to do that. I as a manager, I ask those questions all the time. And I may not even know, but I can ask a question in such a way that says that I can tell within 3 questions as to whether or not this is going to succeed or fail. Because usually I can say, hey, I'll just say, hey, in your unit testing on this field, tell me about what your failure modes are for this one field. And they're going, I don't know, it's a number. It's okay. Well, have you tried to put an alpha in there? Okay. What happens when I do that? What does the error message get, right? And then they're going,
because you ram some Unicode in there.
Right. Yeah, Unicode, right?
Unicode's good for breaking things.
Yeah. But good, man. So so Mojo, I can only recommend that you do that. There's some of us who will are ready to punch old people in the face to get time on the front page. So if you've got an open door for it, then I would absolutely take it and see if you can do it. Who knows, man? Could open up the doors to all kinds of good stuff. Yeah. So it'd be good. Well, good deal that you got through there. So got through to those folks.
Actually, you remember on the Monday when I was telling you about that, I was meaning to send him a thanks for the invite for coming out. This is the next day, and just like as I was thinking that, message came through saying, "Hey, thanks very much for coming out."
You're awesome.
Ellison actually said that. Thank you for coming out.
He sent a note to you, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, thank you for the follow, guys. I don't see all of them, but thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And yes, that actually didn't specifically lead to the next one, which was on the Wednesday just gone. But it's sort of a, hey, we're in town. Would you like to come along? And it just happened to be another one.
Cool.
Coming up. And yeah, and this second one, which was a lunch in the city, they had the new Asia Pacific manager, and they were showing them around, introducing them to partners and such.
Good. That's good. Make sure they know your name.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to that.
Yeah, that's good.
Definitely. I was like, oh, I think I can leave work for a few hours and do that. As it turned out, I left work for a lot of hours, and yeah.
Have you ever bugged out of work and then had too many drinks and just said, "Hey, boss, it would be better if I went home right now"?
I was smart enough at least to stick to the water and the non-alcoholic beverages, but yeah, I was meant to be back. I was left a little bit after 12, and I was aiming to be like 2:30, and I got back at like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some other partners came along for that. A few new faces, a few people that, as it turns out, I had no idea who they were.
There you go.
But I was aware of them, but I had no idea. I didn't associate the face with the channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, those meet all those too. Did you bring your business cards? Do you have business cards?
No, I don't actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
Business cards.
Fortunately, I think for the most part, I left enough of an impression that like when I was exchanging with the film, they're like, "Oh, what's your Twitter?" And they're like, I was straight away doing the exchanging the follows and all that.
Oh, good. Twitter's good too. There were some places where I did not have my business card with me, which is rare. But then I would say, hey, what's your Twitter handle? I'm gonna follow you right now, and then I'll still get it later. That's the best one. So best way to do it, because I do have my phone. I may not have my card, right? So yeah. Well, good. I'm glad
you badger.
Yeah, I'm glad you do that. Yeah, it's not. It's a koala. Well, so that's good. Congratulations. Those are good contacts. I hope that works. That turns into something really good. And so take streaming seriously, man. It'll be good. So a drop bear. Is that because they drop on you?
Yeah, they drop on you and grind your face off, scratch it off.
No, they're drunk, right? Don't they? Aren't they drunk on eucalyptus all the time?
Yeah, some of them get angry drunk.
Angry.
Some get sleepy drunk, some get angry drunk.
There you go. So, a couple things that I started doing this week. We'll hit this, and I saw this myself. So on Reddit, Factorio Reddit. Let me just read. I'm just going to go to the Factorio Reddit. I'll link it in the chat, and we'll read on it. Read this here. One of the rules for the subreddit. Rule 7. Don't come here only to plug your content. And until you said something, I did not ever see it. Because you said, don't go there and self-promote. And then your only other comment was, unless you're JD, and then you can do whatever you want. And I saw that. I was fiddling around in Reddit this week, and I saw it for myself. Because JD just said, here's what I'm doing. Here's a link to my stuff. I do this every week. Enjoy. And he basically just does self-promotion. It's right there. And I went, how does that even work? He can just do it. He can just do it.
He just does it for some reason.
Yeah, self-promotion on Reddit. I've seen it in other channels now. Is generally frowned upon no matter what, except if you're this one dude. He can do it no problemo. And it gets upvoted and lunch comments and all the other business.
It's interesting because it's it's number 7 and then number 9, which is the no one-tile spawns
right,
which is older than time itself.
Right, no inescapable spawns. Right, that one's been there for forever. Right.
Yeah.
No photos of you playing Factorio in some random location. Nobody
very
cares.
Specific.
Yeah, probably enforcement. Right. I'm sure that was very, very common. So, what I decided I was going to do, and you'll like this. So, Badger and I frequently on this show say, look, we need to spend more time out on Reddit and get those viewers, because there's a ton of viewers who don't know about Twitch, who will never come watch you, who will never look at speedrun.com, whatever. But they're players, and Reddit is a general place to go gather, because a lot of times when you're looking at Factorio, how do I? Number 1 link that comes up is YouTube, and number 2 link that comes up is Reddit, right?
Reddit, yeah.
So
and that's your discoverability.
And that's your discoverability, right? So I said, for a couple weeks now, I've been saying, okay, I need to spend more time out on Reddit. So that's a force that's been driving me. Second thing that I've had is, hey man, you need to spend more time in YouTube, because I just listed off the 2 links. Like Twitch almost never comes up with how do I discoverability. And to that end, if I was suggesting starting streaming today, I would say start on YouTube.
Start on YouTube, yeah. Actually, I have an interesting thought on YouTube in general.
Go for it.
I think it is. So imagine you had this amazing tool at your disposal that Google provides for free currently, that instantly allows you to be discovered by basically the entire world.
Mm-hmm. And that's YouTube?
That's YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
But YouTube is this incredibly powerful tool that lets you be discovered by anyone in the world.
I agree.
And you realize that they invested hundreds of millions of dollars in this algorithm for discoverability, and it's just there for you to use.
It is. It is totally there for you to use, right? Yeah.
I never thought of it that way before.
Oh yeah, it is. It is the greatest human compendium of human knowledge on the planet, and it is added to every day, and it's just it's crazy. They're doing stuff for tags and metadata that the rest of the planet is not. Like they're way ahead of Microsoft on lots of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm in the Microsoft world, and the only barrier is language, but that's even coming. That's coming down quick because AI is letting you translate languages almost real time.
Do you know? I actually think that is part of what propelled Catherine of Skies forward so quick.
Yes.
Is she had people translating her videos, subtitles.
Yes, that is insane. So the guy at at my company, there's a guy that specializes in SEO for our storefront, and he said the YouTube translation is so easy to do. It is so super easy to do subtitles and translations and all that sort of stuff. I agree. And so they're matching that now, but right now you have to do the translations for it, right? But now Microsoft and YouTube, and Google, they're both working on an AI bot that translates into almost every other language on the fly. So it's only a few seconds behind. So I went to a seminar, and the guy was speaking into a Bluetooth headset that was around his neck, and his presentation, he was kind of in the middle of the room, kind of talking with the people. Presentation was behind him, kind of over his head, up on the wall, and his laptop was way up at the front, plugged into the overhead, right? So he's talking, and we kept seeing these Spanish subtitles go across the bottom. And there was probably 100 of us in this room, and he said, "Hey, does anybody here speak Spanish?" And dude raised his hand, and he says, "Have you been watching the translations come up, translate my words?" And he says, "Yes." And he says, "How are they? Are they accurate?" And he says, "Really, really close." He says, "There's only like 1 out of every 20 or 30 words is a little fuzzy." And he said, "Yeah." He says, "So what's going on is when I started the presentation 20 minutes ago, it's this Bluetooth headset that feeds into my laptop. That takes my English words, feeds it into an English to Spanish language bot, spits it back out, and I read it up in a little app. I read it up on the text underneath my PowerPoint presentation, and that is done through some bot transactions. There's a bot you can download right now in Microsoft Azure and go get that done." He says, and that's available. It's like a couple cents per 1,000 word to use it or something. You can, so that really you don't pay. You probably won't pay. You pay nearly nothing for it if you're a normal dude. But if you're putting a company around it, and then you're going to pay. You'll get into, if you start making money off of it, that sort of volume, you got to pay.
Yeah.
So, and then he went on to say that, hey, YouTube is doing this. They're at least doing this in the back end. There's language translations that they're working on, because right now, and he was showing us the blanks that you got to fill in and put the subtitle files in, and like drag in subtitles, all this other stuff. So you can get tons and tons and tons of hits if you translate your subtitles. He was talking about the power of the subtitles. He says, by the way, of just speaking from straight up numbers, he said there's 88% of the planet is a non-native English speaker, right? Is non-English native. Like they might know English, but their words, their native tongue is not English. So what are you doing to reach those people, right? Yeah. And there you go. So that's the second force is one force is get out on Reddit, and the second force is get out on YouTube. But I've been taking at least 1 to 2 days a week and doing YouTube work, like making videos and editing. And either way, I haven't released anything yet. I've got like 3 or 4 videos ready that I want to release in a series, but it's not consistent yet. I want more in the bank before I release them. But then I thought, okay, well, I need something consistent too. Like I need a weekly thing or something to have a video every week, a video every day, something like that, rather than just release a big series, because it'll be a long time before series, all that business, and I want to get subscribers and get more people looking at it and get the subscriber number up for packs. And I'm not going to get that way releasing one big series every 2 months, right?
Yeah.
So my idea was combine those two things. And so Friday night, I did new player night that I did the other day, and new player plus I started with the Reddit Factorio front page, and I went down, and the first one up there was the FFF, so I just did my review of the FFF, and then I went down and I just kind of recorded maybe 30 to 45 minutes of raw footage, me talking about Reddit. And then someone in my chat, god dang it, said, hey, this is just like what Exterminator does. And I went, what? And I went, no.
I actually do that with JD as well. We do.
No, you do too. Everybody. Apparently, I'm late to this party. I had no idea everybody else does this thing.
I've even been a guest on Exterms a few times.
Oh my gosh.
Goes back away.
Yeah. So I was probably Odaba, because he's the one that just cuts through all the bull crap.
Sounds like an Odaba thing.
All the bull crap that I think I'm awesome at, and he just gives me something that is super pragmatic. And I went, oh crap. So now I'm one of the other ones that just goes out there and does something on YouTube. This week in Reddit is or something like that. It said R Factorio for the week of whatever. And it was, I think I got it down. I think it's out there now. I got it down to one, and I also replied out on Reddit with a few things. I actually commented on some of the videos out there while I was live. And let me see how long it was. There it is. 33 minutes. And I think I recorded maybe 50 minutes of raw content, and I cut it down. I even have some edits in there or whatever, but I just called it r/r/Reddit, and I'll put the title in there. And FFF R Reddit Factorio Friday Facts for February 14th. So I'll probably just do this every week and knock out 40 minutes of that and just do something routine. Join all the rest of them.
Something that I've been thinking about doing as well lately, like I'm guessing parallel at the same time, we had the same thought, was we need more discoverability, and getting onto Reddit is definitely the way to go. I've been thinking I should really, people have been telling me for years that I should do tutorials, and I'm always, but people have already done it, and YouTube, and like I have this big aversion to recording videos.
Yep.
And I think it's finally time to get over that and actually do it.
Yeah.
And
totally
maybe
should.
some filler Let's Plays as well, particularly with my timing now. It's easier to record like an hour or two of, say, Oxygen Not Included or some other game which doesn't have a huge time sink and you can stop and start.
Yep. Tutorials is work. That's right. And Twitch is fun. Also right. Yes. It is so much easier to come here, hit the button, and go crack wise with your buddies. Tutorials, that's what I've been doing on my off time, is walk through. What I wanted to make was a gradual from 0 to megabase thing, and just stages. And what I'll do is I'll speed when it's very repetitive. Like, okay, we've built a line of iron. We need to build 4 more. So now I do it, and I do that recording, but I fast forward it 8 times, so it looks me going, super super fast, right? So you can pause the video, but I'm cutting it down to where I'm not just sitting there doing something super mundane, because there are mundane parts of Factorio in the early game, right? So, and you got to wait on it. So I've been making so that's the 2 things that I'm struck out on, is a tutorial, and the weekly Reddit review, and I'll just jump in there and crack wise and comment, and I will reply. I'll reply in game or in Reddit, and also reply on video. So, and again, it was freaking Odaba that got me to think about that. So I had no idea that you and Xterm had done that same thing. So what I would and Odaba actually grabbed me a clip of me commenting on one Reddit post, because this one guy said, "Here's spaghetti," and I said, somebody needs to tell this guy. There's actually a Twitch clip of this. Somebody needs to tell this guy that he can get more map. Like, you don't got to cram it all into this one deal. I made this little joke that, look, it's a super easy thing to go get more map. You just you fill out some forms, you send it off. There's a review process. The committee reviews it, comes back. They send it to you with a seal. You got to sign it. You got to fax it back, and then 3 to 5 business days later, you can get more map. Right? That was my joke. And somebody found that funny and clipped it, and I thought, well, I was just commenting on Reddit. That would be fun to do. And then I thought, aha, that's my weekly piece. I'll just crack wise, because I can probably do that and make a funny Reddit video, and with a couple of laughs in there every week, and also give some insight. So, Rain has a point here. He's probably smart. Tutorials and guides are best done by people who are one level of mastery above their target audience, and the widest audience players who have never played. So in-game tutorials are rather low. Super basic start content is in high demand. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. Is I have starting content, getting started, how to get started. That's right. So, and to that end, I watched far more videos on Oxygen Not Included to getting started with power, getting started with this, getting started with that than I ever did of end game how to launch 60 rockets. Right.
I think Oxygen Not Included is actually a good one to get into as well, because there's never been a lot of really good tutorials on that.
Correct. Brothgar had some. He's done some of that stuff.
Brothgar, he had some okay ones, but because he was always a theory crafter rather than an actual. So he always opened up the sandbox mode, and he'd be doing.
He's like
extreme builds.
Right. I think I can create. I think I can create enough power through the energy caught up in Dupe's barf to cook up enough cheeseburgers to make them live and sustain it. So he would work it all out. He would work it all out on paper, and he would show you his graph. Like he had a Visio graph here, and he'd say, "Here's the thing." He'd show his unit calculations, then he'd go do it in the sandbox. It was super interesting, and I gained a little bit of how-to off of that. But yeah,
I should actually point out that speaking of Brothgar, his channel is actually gone. Yeah, apparently.
Poor bastard.
I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, he still does not have his channel back. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I have for a while. I put multi-factor on it and all that business. Like I got it. But I did.
From what I understand, the hack bypasses all of that.
Oh yeah, I don't know how that happens. But yeah, Oxygen Not Included. I did really well at it. I was hard for me to get past, but my survivability was very high. I did pretty good in it. And I was actually getting pretty good at getting far around the 100-day mark, or the 100 cycle mark, and then this dang game called Red Dead Redemption dropped, and then that was the last time I played Oxygen Not Included. Yeah, and I don't know how they hacked Brothgar's account, but apparently it bypassed. I don't know.
It clicks on a link. You know how some emails they have really long, confusing link. They have links masquerading as all kinds of things, so you don't know where it's actually going.
Yeah.
And it was something like that, and it just snatched the credentials straight out of the browser. And then because there was no there's no two-factor protection against changing the credentials. Once they yanked it, they just take the whole account, change the password, all that, gone.
So they should have sent you an email that says, "Hey, account ABC has just changed the password here. If this is not you." But then maybe that went to his Gmail account, right? And that's
it may have gone to the account, which was also compromised.
Because I've
yanked it out the browser.
Because I got one of these a while back that said, this is a while ago, where it said your PayPal. There was a login from PayPal in a city that I was not in, and I had not logged in that day, and I went, "Holy shit!" And
you got to have that moment to pause and think: is this legitimate, or is it trying to get me to click?
Well, I didn't click through the link. I just went straight there. And I immediately changed my password. I moved it. I've added. I put in an email verification. I added multi-factor, and I went. I think it was the Stream PayPal account where I'm piling up my money for the college and all that. So I went, holy shit. Oh, we're all dead. And I just logged in real quick. I did not click. You don't click on any links in emails. You go straight there and do the thing. Yeah, the auction not included is great. It is very, very great. In fact, Resix is the one that got it for me. Son of the bitch. I lost so much sleep on that game.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle, man. One more cycle. It's like Factorial. One more cycle, one more thing. Let me just fix blue science, and it's morning.
It's actually what Dragonbane says there is exactly what I want to do. Is I want to start using the time that I have at night, which I wanted to stream during the week, but usually I get home at like 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, and so that's like enough time to do like an hour of Oxid not included. So I could just do a nice slow playthrough, and what my thinking is, I could do a slow playthrough tutorial and explain, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how to maintain that survivability.
Yep.
And so there you go. That's exactly what I'm targeting.
Yeah, that'd be good. You should do it. Resix, how you doing? He got me. He's trying to wreck my life. Is what he's trying to do. So to that end, so that's one really good. He's a famous SOB. I have my cowbell too for when he comes in. So the abuse tutorials, he can live forever, right? So that's one big thing I did on Friday. I got the Reddit thing done. I said, okay, I've got a system now because I wanted to do new players and I want to do Reddit, and I think I combined it into one night, and that seems very, very doable once a week while I'm playing and farting around. And Friday night's a good one because it's a well attended evening, and I can do the thing. That's number one. Number two, I went and. I had to give my camera had been dying for a while, and it's been messing up, so I've been using Ash's camera. Well, then this weekend, I decided I had a weekend with we had nothing to do. The daughter and the wife were out doing on a swim thing, so I went and got a new camera, and because I wanted to try and bring Ash back, and Red Dead Online was our game of choice, and so I brought him back. We made his debut yesterday afternoon, and we were able to play, but not in similar sessions, and we can't hook up because there's something that is preventing both.
That's what was going on before.
Yes, so both we cannot play at the same time. So I logged in this morning and I did a couple dailies solo. He was not on the PC, no issues. He logs in, does something on the PC, also no issues. If he's on and then I try and log in, I get the disconnect over and over and over and over and over. So I tried rebooting, all that other stuff. It might just be that streaming, this is what the tech guy said, streaming plus Red Dead number 1 plus Red Dead number 2. Those three connections may be dying, right? Because
it's killing your internet because of that.
I can stream Red Dead on this PC, and I can stream and play at the same time, no issues. Rare disconnects. I can stream on this PC, and he can play Red Dead, no issues. But maybe it might be adding a third one, and it gets sketchy. And then if what he was saying was that if Red Dead detects a bunch of missing packets or any of that business, then it'll start keeling over. So who knows?
The only thing I could think of that it would be is just the odd drop packet that just upsets.
So, oh yeah, but who knows? It might be but it's only been this weekend, so we have 2 days worth of data, and it is very consistent that I cannot stream and play and have two accounts running at the same time. It might be that their servers are especially weak right now. It might be that my cable modem and my router, my ISP, is having issues this weekend specifically, and they may get to it tomorrow morning. But I've never had those sorts of issues. Streaming plus Red Dead has always been good. It might be that if I stream with PC number 1 and play with PC number 2 and play with PC number 3, then it's fine. And as soon as we're done here, we're going to try and play together without the streaming and see if that connects. See if that's the issue.
What happens? Yeah.
Because we've only tried to stream and do the playing. The good news is when I quit today, this is what we're trying for. We were number 2 in the Red Dead category, which is really, 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 really good. Yeah, I'll check my router log and all that business too. But we always talk about the browse page. So when you go to, well, we'll just go to the Factorio browse page because that's where we live. Following categories. So let's look at this right now. Boom. So right now, Yamakara is the first up in the Factorio page. What's great about that is that pole position is really, really good. You want to be top 1, 2, or 3 because that's where it appears. Most of the time it appears on mobile. In its default setting is sort by viewers high to low. Now mobile, it sorts by relevance, so it may not be like that. But which is 44% of the viewers. But on PC, your default is viewers high to low. So your most viewed stream, the one where most people are there, is in your top left. And that's again talking about discoverability for someone who's already on Twitch. They want to see what's going on in Factorial Space. They open that page up. Yeah, he'll get the
look at those first 3.
He'll look at the first 2 or 3. Now, what's great is if you're in second place, if you're in that second spot, but the first one is in French. Hey, awesome, right? Then the first English speaker is you're basically in first position because the first one is in English right now, right? So we were probably bouncing between the first and second spot because I think we were averaging around 93 viewers and the person ahead of us had 98, which is well within reason. Like that, those can fluctuate up and down, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So for our first time to do that and have a kid there, and we got a couple follows when we came by, like 10 follows after we switched over, which was really good. And they came by and they said, "Hey, there's a dad and a son playing," which they're for those of you who are unfamiliar, that's how we started, right? Was me and Ash playing Terraria, and the draw was wow, dad and his son playing video games together, right?
Playing them games.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought of a thing?
Who would thought of a thing, right? And it's great because now he's a gamer, I'm a gamer. We could do this thing. He's the camera likes him, right? He's a likable kid and super smart. And one of the best things about it is I get this compliment all the time is how do you get him to sit still for that long? And someone will say, I have a son also, and there's no way he will sit still for 5 hours.
Let alone 20 minutes.
Let alone 20 minutes to get him to play and focus on a game because he's such a spaz where he wants to go wrestle something or eat dirt or punch a tree or whatever it is. He wants to wrestle something. But how do you get Ash to sit there? And I said, I don't know, man. Like my commentary is that I have a daughter and I have a son. So raising them, they're older now, so they're fairly easy. My daughter was like raising 3 kids. My son is like raising 1 old cat. He's pretty easy. He's pretty easy. He'll get up and do something. He'll do it if you prod him, and he's usually pretty happy about it. Has a happy heart about all the stuff, but he's kind of like that that Labrador Retriever. That if you just leave him alone, he'll go over there and sit down and do his own thing, and he'll lay there. But if you you grab a stick, grab the ball, and say, "Hey, let's go," and he's up, he's running, he's ready to go.
He's on it.
He's on it. But otherwise, if you just kind of leave him alone, he'll just wander over there and do his own thing. He'll be pretty unintrusive about it.
It's pretty funny because I know so many people with kids that they can't focus on anything for more than like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's Minecraft 1 minute, and then 10 minutes later it's Fortnite, or then something else, Roblox.
Yeah.
They just can't stay on it for more than a few minutes.
And Ash and I have done we've done a 10-hour, 12-hour streams before back in the day.
Oh, back in the day, you'd be going for hours.
Yeah, we'd go for hours. Yeah, it'd be fine. No big deal. And to some extent, he's still like that. He's just way busier than he used to be. School and all that. Because we used to have the homeschool setup where, so in your, I don't know if I probably talked about this, but in your university, Mojo, you went to class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then you were off the class Tuesday, Thursday. It's usually how it works, right? And then you had to study. Well, that's what his school was from the time he started school. Like his first school, age 6, right? Or 5 or 6. It was, you have school 2 days a week and then you're home 2 days a week. That was it. And so he almost never had evening homework. So his evenings were completely free to do whatever, right? Whether it was swim or sports or stream. So
okay.
And right about the time we were switching off, he was burnt. A couple things happened. He was burnt on Factorio. 2, we swapped schools so that now he had evening homework. And 3, he changed swim schools to where now he's swimming in the evenings now. So all of that combined was, Dad, I can't stream Factorio with you anymore, or at least near as often. So why don't you just go out and get partner and speed run and get partner and do your thing. So that's what I did.
Yeah, you could tell towards the end though that he was done with Factorio. You could see it.
Yeah. He was like he was either building circuits or he would get over there and he would play on the second monitor and do nothing in Factorio when I'm telling him to do something. So I kept getting mad at him. So I said, all right, get off. I'll do this myself. We'll do it fine, So, but he's we've been trying to figure out. That's a year and a half ago. So we've been trying to figure out a way to get him back on and how many nights a week, etc. But Red Dead, he's having a good old time with, and he's pretty good at it. And he killed his horse accidentally, and he likes the hunt. He loves the hunting.
Okay.
He's liking the hunting in it, so that's good. So we'll figure that out. So. Yeah, you've been in car rides in the back, and people started talking about quite private topics because they forgot you were there. Yep, there you go. Anyway, so I don't know how often he did, but we had how often he's going to be streaming with us. But we had a free weekend, so and he got all his homework done, and we did. We cleaned out the garage, we cleaned out the car, and we wiped down the car windows and all that business. Like we cleaned up the car a little bit. And then we also went to a gas station on Saturday morning because I wanted to try it. They were offering breakfast burritos for $1.20. So cheap.
What a world you live in, where you have breakfast burritos at a gas station.
At a gas station, yeah.
Of all places.
So I said we are so doing that because like there's no way Mom would go with me for that, and the daughter is a non-meat person. So I said, Ash, this
one of them.
This is perfect for the boys. We're gonna go get some cheap, probably gross breakfast tacos. Let's do it. So we did it. Gas station food is a super positive, healthy choice. So we went gas station food. That's fun. Crippling diarrhea, worth it. All right. Well, let's. I'm actually hungry right now.
Intestinal Drano.
Speaking of intestinal Drano and crippling diarrhea, I'm hungry. So I've been streaming most of the afternoon. This is probably my 7th hour. So we're gonna wrap here. Mojo, what do you got? What else you got going on this week? What do you got in store for everybody this week?
This week, well, I got to work all week. But then next Saturday, which is Friday for the US, I really want to get onto some Satisfactory.
Yeah. Do you have any dates as to when it's going to come out on the non-experimental track?
Don't know currently. Yeah, because it's currently out on the experimental track. It's been updated. Like I've seen updates come out, upwards of twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day or so. It's very frequent. They're trying to get it done.
Yeah.
I would also like to try it, but I don't want to get into the experimental stuff. I don't want. I mean, you saw the Red Dead. Like I've got enough connectivity issues and all that.
You want some stability in your life.
Yeah, Mojo, what do you stream? Mojo is mainly a Factorio streamer. He's really good. He's got several thousand hours in that game, and he does auction not. He's also really, really good at auction not included. He does a hot potato on occasion with Idra and
Shadow and
yep.
Real Time Ben.
Yep, Shadow, Real Time Ben, a couple of those. They do a good job with Auction Not Included. He's really good. I'll tell you who is really good. I don't think we talked about this. Was Idra is insanely good at
Oh yeah, she's
everything.
Phenomenal at
Yeah, at Auction Not Included. Her brain works completely different, and she is super efficient and super creative. Let's put her link in the chat too. Yeah, she was saying that she also got some inspiration from you. She said Mojo did this, did a thing, and then
that would have been the critters.
Yeah, Mojo did a thing, and then I thought, well, why not do X, Y, and Z with it? So now her thing, she'll improve on it. But she did drag some inspiration from you. So yeah, Auction Not Factorio mainly, Auction Not Included, and Satisfactory are his deal. Anything where you're factoring your building and you're doing the thing, right? So.
Generally building. There's also City Skylines off and on. There's actually a whole lot of others that I want to do as well. But again, actually, of all things, Balloons TD6 is something that I want to do.
Balloons.
A great game.
Nice. And then, you have a kid this weekend. Miss out on Satisfactory. Satisfactory is great. It's good, not great. It needs
a lot of balance work.
It needs lots of balance work, and it also needs something to automate the top end, the end game. Because
the stupid handcraft, you just sit there for like half an hour to 2 hours just handcrafting in front of that base.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with the game.
Yeah, it really is. The fact that you can basically get to the end game faster by handcrafting is an issue. You really can. You get the stuff and run to that little booth and run it up, right?
Yeah, and actually the biggest thing that I noticed is that you have to go through that handcrafting step before you're allowed the next tier of automation. So to get the automation, you have to sit there hammering away. And you get your tier 2, tier 3, and then you unlock steel. You got to sit there hammering away the steel manually before you can build the furnace that does the steel smelting.
Right. Yeah, update 3 resolved that. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah, we'll have to try it. So yeah. So next weekend we'll check it out. All right, for me next weekend or this week we have I'm supposed to be off tomorrow. Likely I will not, but I will be normal week for me. Tuesday, Thursday, Factorio. We may jump into Red Dead depending on Ash's availability, etc. Wednesday is always a YouTube day. Friday, New Player Day, Reddit, and Factorio Friday Fact Review, and then Saturday will likely be something with Ash. Last weekend before PAX East, so PAX East is not this weekend, but the following weekend, and we're gonna get out there and get after it. Badger and I are going to PAX East. We got a crew with us, and it's gonna be much bigger than PAX South. We're just gonna get after it, so it's gonna be great. All right. Okay, well, let's go. We'll go raid my buddy Grimly. He's got a cat. He does not have a cat cam. He has a cat next to him on a stand. And he's a good streamer and a good player. Oh, is he taking a break? Hang on. Oh no, he's bailing out. Let's do Resorty instead. Resorty he's doing RimWorld, and he's got some ties on his head. Resorty is a very good Auction Not Included player, and
he is too. I don't normally get to see him though.
Yeah. Resorty's good. He's a professor of theoretical politics. Super interesting, unique guy. You will not find another one of them, and you'll give him a little bit of time. You'll hear him, and you'll go, "What the hell is going on with this guy?" And you trust, he's worth it. Hang in there. Trust me, he's worth it. All right, we'll give the Badger sign off. Stay motivated because you're motivated. You do anything. Stay awesome because you know you're awesome. See you next time. Remember, stretch. Salute.